Have you ever been on vacation and needed a break from your vacation? Or wanted to get away from all the tourist crowds when you were traveling? I find the break quite refreshing. It allows me to be able to get my bearings back and hopefully get a deeper appreciation for the local culture. Maybe when I go for a break from the tourists to the same place the locals go, I can understand what life is like for them when they let loose. Istanbul is a city that overwhelms you in a way no city had done to me before. I have experienced worse traffic, for example, in other cities. In fact, considering its size, Istanbul has pretty organized traffic. The best way I can describe Istanbul is like if everywhere you went, you would find crowds the size of the ones at Times Square. I decided to take a breather and head to the Prince Islands. The cruise would help me wrap my head around the massive size of Istanbul, while hopefully taking me to a smaller community where I could just take in the local culture. What would I find there? The exciting thing was, I frankly had no idea. There is something refreshing about traveling without any preconceived notions, in just letting the people and the place show you what they are all about.
We're here on the ferry. We just left Istanbul. We're heading towards the Prince Islands. And so they offer here the hot tea. And so, as you can see here, it's in a saucer and they serve it in glass. So we're gonna go ahead and enjoy this. A little chilly right now. So we're here in Buyukada. We came from Istanbul. We took the ferry over, and so there's a couple of islands that they stop at, and so this is the last one. We noticed there's a couple of bakeries that smelled really good. The bread looked good, so we were thinking something along the lines of a sandwich. And so this particular meat smelled really good, and so we're gonna try this sandwich out. You can see the kebab meat in there. There is tomatoes also. There's French fries and onion. It looks like some cucumber or pickle. And so we'll try it out. Bread is very flaky, very nice. I would have liked a little bit more meat, but the meat is flavorful. The tomato has added not only the acidic part, but also it's added some, it's helped to be a little bit more juicy, and so it's not as dry, but it's very good. Not for the not apt for diabetics, but we're gonna try these out. So we're gonna try first of all this halka here. Try this out, see how this is. Wow. It's crunchy, and at the same time, as soon as you bite into it, there's all this syrup that comes through. So it's very moist in the middle. I'm sure that it's full of sugar. But it is an interesting contrast between the crunchy outer layer and then that soft, syrupy inside. That dough is just doused in syrup. And now, for the Turkish lakma, try this out. It looks like it's got a syrup on the outside also. So this one's not very crispy. I think that's by design. It's basically like a donut hole. But it is very airy inside. It can be seen here. All these little holes in that wonderful dough. It is not as sweet as this one. It doesn't have as much syrup, but it does. When you do bite into it, you do feel that you're going through all the sugar and syrup. So I don't know if I'll be able to finish all this. It's a lot of sweet there, but yeah, it's something neat and different to try out.
Yok, getireceğim. Diğeri? Var mı?
So, as you can tell here, in Buyukada, they don't allow people to be driving cars. It's either through horse or through bike. And so we just came here to enjoy some wonderful pomegranate juice. It's very popular here. Let's try this out. It almost looks like beet juice. And she just freshly squeezed it now. So I feel like I'm biting into a pomegranate. Very refreshing. So we're here, still in Buyukada, this island, and so we asked for, after getting the pomegranate juice, we asked for some salad, which is a hot drink from what I'm told, made from tapioca root extract. So it's kind of interesting, the idea. I've never had anything like that before. And so I asked for it, had to wait a little bit. They had to make it fresh. It looks like on top they put some, looks like cinnamon. Pretty sure it is. It smells like cinnamon. And they give you this little spoon, so I imagine I'm supposed to stir it. 100% sure. I'm gonna stir this a little bit and try it out. It's pretty hot. It was made just right now. Guys, if you didn't tell me that was tapioca roots, I wouldn't have guessed it. Because it's almost got, it reminds me of kind of like an horchata. The flavor profile is a little bit different, but it is a similar type of idea, and it even does slightly resemble it. But pretty interesting. Not, it doesn't have a particularly earthy flavor like I thought because of being a root. Like it tastes more like maybe a potato or something along those lines. But yeah, it's pretty good.
So what did I find in the Prince Islands? I found hardworking people, people that enjoyed spending time with their family and getting away from the hustle and bustle of the big city. Now, there were still crowds, but they weren't so much tourists as local ones looking to get away from all the activity in Istanbul. So definitely, if you come out to Istanbul, make some time to enjoy the cruise to the Prince Islands. You'll find that the people are warm and kind, and the views are spectacular.